Hello everyone. This is an idea I wanted to do for a while, but with the recent announcement of DLC being extended all the way until December, plus we have the idea that there will be more expansions that will be paid, because they have said multiple times that Octo Expansion is the first paid DLC expansion, so there could be more. So all those just make me think of DLC ideas that they could totally do, and here's my top 10 list on things that we could do. These range from small little things to big things. So the first thing I want to cover is something called Sheldon's Picks. Now, Sheldon's Picks is basically something that happened in Splatoon 1, where some weapons got third variations with an alternate kit and a nice little name. An example would be the Wasabi Splatter Shot, which got Splat Bomb and Ink Strike as the third variant of the Splatter Shot. That would be awesome in this game, but I'd like them to go even further and make a third variant for every single weapon in this game. I think it would be amazing, and having an extra alternate kit for every weapon really brings so much more variety and options to the game. At the same time, I think it would just be an amazing idea as a whole. It's something you could do both paid or free downloadable if you want to space it out over time. And it's something that the devs have done even after DLC was supposed to have been ended for Splatoon 1. And I see it as a huge possibility for Splatoon 2, as we're pretty much almost at the end of the weapons that we know to be released. So it's either brand new weapons only coming for a while now, or Sheldon's Picks. So I'm hoping it's the latter. The second thing is something everyone talks about, so I won't go over it too much, but skipping the news. Nobody likes the news because it takes forever to skip through. Having an option to at least speed it up like you can in Sheldon's shop would definitely be nice, because I feel it's a bit unfair that you are forced to do the news every time. Some people just don't want to do the news. The third option I would like to bring up is a new mode entirely. While they did throw out single player as an option, I do think a nice option would be some kind of co-op mode. Now, slight spoiler warning, you might want to skip about 30 seconds or so, but Octo Expansion's been out a while, so meh. But at the end of Octo Expansion, there was a bit of 3, and Agent 3 and Agent 8 got together a bit more kind of like, that was sort of a thing they did, and that was all cute and stuff, and there's a bunch of art on it. But I actually thought they could go way further with this. I would love to see a co-op mode where you team up with a friend and you guys use both of those characters and maybe go through some alternate storyline. Maybe throw in some Salmon Run, some old Splatoon 1 bosses. Just the idea of a two-player co-op mode, even if it's another AI controlling Agent 3 or Agent 8, I just think that would be a super cool idea. And the idea of having a co-op mode between two characters was kind of dull for me at first, but now that Agent 8 and Agent 3 actually have decent storylines, like they've developed as characters, I feel a co-op mode would totally be something people would be up for. Agent 4 I think would be a nice touch to throw in there a bit. However, again, there's not really much character developed there. Same for Agent 3 and Splatoon 1, but now this game's obviously given Agent 3 a bit more depth. So I think that because these two are actually more developed characters and have had a better storyline thanks to Octo Expansion, a co-op mode could totally be a really nice addition and give people a two-player option besides Twin Squads or Salmon Run. I think that would just be a really interesting choice, and especially like the idea of revisiting powered-up Splatoon 1 bosses. Gotta bring that shark thing back for everyone's nightmares. The next idea I have is Private Battle Expansion Pack. Now, the way this would work would actually be relatively simple. You would just have more different options for private battles. Now, currently in private battle, it's just really putting people on spectator or not and choosing the map and mode, and then you can turn secondary abilities off. But I'd love to see more of those secondary options put in. For example, what if you could switch what kind of music you wanted? What if you could put it to night theme for the stages? I just think there's so much they could do, and I would just love to see what kind of ideas Nintendo could put into the private battles, because I could totally see private battles having much more of those secondary choices, and I would definitely like to see that. So hopefully that is something we will get to see at some point. Next up is loadout and weapon organizations. Now, you can't really organize your weapons to like, oh, these are my favorites, I want to organize them in their own little category. So when I select them, it's really easy. I can just select this loadout. You have to more just organize it yourself by going in and out and changing, like, the basic order of where things are structured. Oh. But, yeah. I guess this one I could explain a bit more, so if I can hop over... And I'm sorry there's like no real script to this. This is more just a discussion. So I'm sorry if this is a bit less structured than my other videos. But if I want to organize my weapons, for example, here, like I want to be able to just select, I want to use the hero umbrella, but whenever I select the hero umbrella, I want to have this set of gear. And I want it to be in that order. And then when I have the Sorella, I want this set of gear or something. This is really my range blaster build, but let's say as CRB, I want to have this build right at it. And I want to organize it, so I want... Like, what if you could even just show, okay, your favorite weapons can be in a category. And then I could sort by L, main, sub, special, and then favorites. But I could also do my weapons. And then it'll show it in the order I like. And then I could do, like, here, maybe you could do all the way over here. And then there would be a fifth one that said loadouts. And then you could just get... And you could select, like, boom, I select range blaster with range blaster loadout equipped. And then, boom, I get this automatically. It just makes selecting and organizing things way easier. And considering how many weapons there are and gear, especially, like, look how many different shirts, and I don't even have all of them. Like, who's going to want to scroll through here for a specific shirt? Come on. Let's make this a bit easier. Now, the next idea I have would be more Octoling hairstyles. Now, this is an obvious one, of course, but I still feel it deserves mention that there are only 2 Octoling hairstyles in the game, and there's 6, like, around 6 Inkling ones. I think more Octoling options would be totally cool, and an even cooler option would be some kind of Octoling Inkling hybrid mix of different hairstyle. So maybe like it has this tuft Inkling hair one that you see here, like with the little tufts in the back, but it also has a little tentacle in the front. Something like that, some combination. But right now, selecting an Octoling, going to this screen and seeing, oh, I only have 2 options, is just kind of dull. So I'd love to see more styles there. Just character designing is really nice, and I like how each like Inkling or Octoling looks very different from one another. But just having a bit more options, especially Octoling hairstyles, would be really nice. Next kind of ties into the private battle ones and things, which is Splatoon 1 expansion pack. What if just a bunch of Splatoon 1 maps came back, like Maki Maki and like 2 different maps at once, and then you got Splatoon 1 music back in the game, and then maybe you could go visit Inkopolis Square, or Plaza. I forget which one is which, in all honesty. I mean, it's there. You can see it right here on the right. That's where you were in the first game. It'd be awesome if you could actually go there, like maybe here. Would you like to go to Inkopolis Plaza or Square or wherever? And then you could travel there and maybe see the shop. There'd be different things in the shops there because there'd be a lot of gear. So you could visit the old shops and the characters who are there. Or do different options there. See the Squid Sisters in their studio. Something like that. I just feel would be a really unique option. And just the idea of bringing more Splatoon 1 stuff back just seems like a really nice thing. Now, these next 3 things are like the main things I want. So, yeah, let's get into those in the Deep Sea Metro. I'll see you there. Alright, the next thing I would like to discuss is the idea of a training room expansion pack. Now, I mostly got the idea from this first level here, but what if you could go in a room, like just a kind of more flat room, so something like this, but you could spawn Octolings or like some kind of AI with different weapons and things here, and then you could train against them rather than just having the dummies in the training area. You could go somewhere else and train against like actual AIs, and maybe you could turn up how good they are. Like maybe that would be an easy one, and you could have them be harder, or you could have them use different weapons. And it could be great to practice against certain things or just have regular opponents to play against rather than just pure target practice. And I feel that could be a really interesting option to add to the training room area. And I think overall that would just be a pretty neat addition that they could totally do. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is actually something you can see right here. So you see how the Octolings have their own unique versions of weapons, like you saw the Octobrella a bit ago, and this is the Octo Roller. Now, I don't know why you can't, but what if you could unlock those weapons and play them? How cool would it be to be able to unlock all of the different Octoling weapons and they'd have the same kit as, like, because the hero weapons are the same kit as the first one, like the hero slosher is the same kit as the vanilla slosher. So what if the octo slosher had, like, the slosher decos kit, for example? And they did that for all the octo weapons. I think that would be awesome, and having more skins for those weapons would honestly be really cool. So I don't know why they don't do that. But I think that would be an option I'd totally like them to do. And I think it'd be very interesting to see that happen. So I would personally totally want that, but maybe that's just me. For unlocking it, also spoiler territory, I'm going to go in here for Octo Expansion. You could do the Agent 3 boss fight, the secret one, you beat all the levels, and then you have to beat him, or her, whatever you've selected it as, with that Octoling weapon. So then, you want to get the Octobrella, you have to beat it with Umbrella. Or you want to beat it, you want to unlock the Charger, you have to beat it with the Charger, and the stage could change a bit. Something like that. And I think that would be ultimately really interesting for unlocking Octo weapons. So, I just think that would just be an amazing touch. And Octoling weapons honestly look amazing, and there's even a picture showing all 10 of them off. Well, 9 of them. So, not 10, but 9 for each different class, and they look amazing. Now, the last thing I'd like to do is going to go more into that Agent 3 final boss fight, and I'm actually going to show it, so if you don't want to see any footage, close out now. But, if you are still here, I would honestly really like to see the classic hero shot be unlockable. Now, what I mean by that is the hero shot that Agent 3 uses, and I'll show it right here as we go into this part. But Agent 3's weapon actually looks really cool, and it's something that isn't in this game at all. If you can try and get some footage of that hero shot there. So unlocking it as maybe a wasabi splatter shot variant, tying in the Sheldon's picks would be an amazing touch in all honesty, and I think that'd be super cool to show off. So what if you could unlock that by beating Agent 3 with every single different Octo weapon, then you unlock the classic hero shot. That would be cool, and then it could be a wasabi skin, and that would honestly look amazing. And it'd have the same kit, of course, and such, and I think that would just be a unique touch. And then maybe you could also unlock the backpack, which you can see for the Octoling is this thing, and then the cape would be just the cape that Agent 3 wears as extra aesthetic items, so you could put those on your character, or you could wear none of them. And I feel that would be also a really unique choice. So what if you could put those on whatever shirt you have if you wanted to? So extra accessory items. And it would also just be a really cool showing, hey, I beat Agent 3 with everything. I've 1000%ed it. Like, I totally got Agent 3 100% beat with every single weapon. Like, here's me showing that I've done that. I think that would be pretty cool. But I guess we shall see. But thank you guys for watching. And I'll put some Octo Expansion content up soon, I promise. So I do hope you guys are looking forward to that. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.